Heyo, what's up? I'm Pikachu, and today is week, I think, 7. Yes, 7 of the IBL, and I'm gonna apologize that I do not have a webcam right now, and that is because I don't know what's wrong with my computer, or maybe it's my webcam, I don't know, I think it's my computer, but it lags, and it's been happening ever since 2017 hit, which is why I've not been doing as many videos as I planned to, and it's why I am not streaming. I'm in the process of figuring that out, but as of now there will be no webcam, which is kind of unfortunate, but it can't be helped. Anyways, I don't know if I said this, I'm coach of the California Kingdras. We're gonna be up against AutoMatthic, I think. Yeah, I think that's how he pronounces his name. He is coach of the Nijmegen Nuzleafs. I think I said that right. I don't know how to pronounce anything. I totally did not look that up and then just forget how to say it, but it's okay. Yeah. Okay, so going into this match, I was very scared because I think he's the top player in the gold and silver division. So I honestly didn't have any hopes. I had no hopes, but I was willing to try. Definitely willing to try. So what he brought was, I did predict the Hitmonlee, Thunderous Tea, Umbreon, wait no Umbreon, Tapu Fini, and Arcanine. And then I thought he was gonna bring Mamoswine and Flygon, but he ended up bringing Umbreon and Tangrowth. I don't know if I said Tangrowth already, but like you see the Pokemon, they're right there. I actually do not have the list of what he brought right now. I'm just doing it off the top of my head. But what I brought Volcanion, I brought Donphan, Ninetales, Heracross, Electros, and Celebi. Onion is making his debut, and I'm happy about that because I haven't been able to use the Celebi at all. Week 7, we're finally doing it. Hopefully he can prove himself worthy, but we're just gonna go ahead and waste no more time and get right into the match. So, it is going to be on his side of the view because he did record it for me. Thank you so much, by the way. Honestly, I feel like I'm the only one that does not have a capture card, which is kind of sad. But, yeah, that can't be helped. I'm going to lead with Electros. As he leads with Arcanine, he's going to go for Toxic. We actually had to redo half of the battle because what's it called? There was a disconnection or whatever. So Toxic actually missed, and I ended up knocking off his Rocky helmet, which was nice because then my physical attackers would have no problem taking it out. But Livewire eventually does get poisoned, just not this soon. I go for Volt Switch, and I go ahead and switch out into Volcanion as I think he switches out because he doesn't want to stay into a Steamed Eruption. Goes into his Umbreon, but I actually go for the substitute because I figured he's gonna switch. We're gonna sub up, and I'm so happy that I'm not like running Choice Specs because I think I said this like 2 weeks ago. There's no way I wouldn't run like Choice Specs Volcanion, and then now I'm just like, you know what? Let's not run Choice Specs Volcanion. Let's run Leftovers Volcanion and have Substitute on it because I really did not need a 4th move. So I do get the burn on Umbreon a little sooner than later. In the first match, he did end up breaking my sub, and we had a kind of like sub foul play moment of me trying to see what he wants to do. But that's why I actually sub again to let him break my sub, if that makes any sense, because that's how the original match went on, and we were trying to like mimic it as closely as possible as we could until we got to the part where where we disconnected originally. So yeah, I'm going to he's gonna break my sub, and I believe I decide to switch into Heracross because I realized burned foul play is not going to do that much to Heracross, and I could scare it out with close combat. I did make a mistake on my Heracross's set. I was going to be Guts, so because I figured he's going to have like Toxic Pokemon or whatever, and that would be like a nice surprise. So I'm actually Scarfed, but I wanted to run Guts, but I hacked my Pokemon wrong, and I forgot to switch the ability, but it's fine. Yeah. I guess I wouldn't switch into Arcanine anyways. So there's that, and that's the only thing that was running Toxic, I believe. I don't think Umbreon was doing anything. In comes this thing. I'm gonna go for close combat. Narwhal, his Tapu Fini, is going to take that. It's gonna do around like, I don't know, 30%, a little less than 30%. But his wish does come true. I really want to get rid of Umbreon though, because Wish is kind of annoying. I actually really wanted Wish on Celebi, but Showdown lied to me and it doesn't get Wish. Yeah, Showdown, I don't know what's wrong with you. Celebi does not get Wish, Noivern does not get Defog. Get your act together, please, because it's confusing me and is making hacking a little hard. I did catch it before battling him, so. But he's gonna do Nature Madness, and that's gonna hurt me a lot, which is kind of unfortunate. But I do have leftovers so I can slowly regain my health, which is really nice. I'm just gonna go for Sludge Bomb because that's my best option. He goes into his, what's it called, Umbreon though, and that's gonna tank that like a champ because, I mean, it's an Umbreon. It's gonna tank a special attack. So Burn's gonna hurt him. I think here I switch out, yeah, I go out into, I believe, Blue Beetle again, because again, I wanted to scare him out. He goes for Wish though, and I believe I go for Mega Horn this time. Because I also realized that I didn't give PP ups to my Heracross's close combat, so I only had 5, and I was like, oh wow, we're really prepared today. Cool Pikachu, what is wrong with you? But, so I go for Mega Horn, as he's just gonna go into this Narwhal, and it really didn't matter if I missed or not, because Wish is just gonna heal him up. I really want that Umbreon gone, because that thing is starting to annoy me with its Wish shenanigans. I really wish I had Wish support on my team, but I don't, unfortunately. Celebi, why? I'm gonna go into, what's it called? Volcanion, just in case he, like, decides to go for a water type move, but no, he's just gonna do Nature's Madness again. That always does half of my HP, so it was fine. Leftovers is gonna heal, and I believe I just go for the safe. No, I actually double switch out because I was like, he's switching into his Umbreon, I think. I'm just gonna go into Livewire, as he does go into that thing, and I'm like, you know what? Let's go for Drain Punch. Now, originally in the first battle, Midnight was at full health, so I was able to pull off the Drain Punch. But Drain Punch would have killed Umbreon, and I actually did not kill Umbreon in the first match, if that makes any sense. I know it's kind of confusing, but I'm trying to explain this. So I actually had to go for Fire Punch to make sure I didn't kill Umbreon. Because again, we were trying to represent the original battle as closely as possible up until the point where we disconnected. So I go for Fire Punch. Does around the same damage how Drain Punch would have done if Midnight was at full health. So that's nice. That is nice. Poison's gonna hurt me. I'm not at full health. I believe Livewire was actually a little healthier, but it's alright. He's gonna switch out his Umbreon. Sorry. And go into his Hitmonlee as I go for Drain Punch, and that's gonna bring me up to a decent amount of health, which I'm happy about. Livewire is finally taking use of its recovery options, so it's not just a punching bag. But in comes this thing, and I can't take a high jump kick. So I decide to switch out into Gondor, my Dawn fan, and I'm like, okay, I have to hope he misses, or like even if he hits, he's gonna get hurt by Rocky Helmet. That does a butt ton of damage. He does get hurt by Rocky Helmet, and he's Life Orb, so I was like, okay, he's gonna take decent damage, but he's gonna kill me next turn if he lands the high jump kick. He does land the high jump kick, which is a little unfortunate. Gondor's down, but I didn't want anyone else to take a high jump kick, and honestly, Donphan, it was like my least important Pokemon in this match, because I don't know if he had like rocks or anything. But in goes Blue Beetle, and I'm like, okay, I can outspeed, I can go ahead and revenge kill. But he switches out, goes into Narwhal, which is the safest option that he could do, because it's gonna tank whatever Blue Beetle has. I go for Earthquake this time. There wasn't any reason for him to go into Thunderous Tea, because I know he didn't want to take a close combat. That would have hurt him a great deal, as well as, I don't know, Mega Horn. Does around the same damage as close combat though. I'm gonna switch into Celebi. Celebi making his debut, as he's gonna go for the Moonblast this time. So I'm glad I didn't, like, I don't know, go into, actually no, it would have been fine. Would have been fine if we went into Volcanion. But I go into Celebi. I'm just gonna go for the Leech Seed here, and here's where we got disconnected. So the rest of this match is not a replay. There's no weird things that we did to try and represent the original match. So I'm just gonna go for U-Turn. It does a little bit of damage, get that little chip damage that I want. Gonna send in Livewire, because I figured he was gonna knock off, and in retrospect, I'm an idiot, and I should have switched into, which Pokemon? There was another Pokemon I should have switched into. Because, oh, I should have switched into Ninetales, because knockoff wasn't gonna hurt me too bad. I had my Focus Sash or whatever, and then I was able to either set up the Aurora Veil or Blizzard, but that didn't work out. Giga Drain is going to heal me up, but I'm at the point where I'm gonna die from poison, and I'm so sorry, Livewire, you should not have died that early. I should have switched into Kione, or Kione, however, you know what, I still haven't looked at the pronunciation of your name. I feel so bad, I'm so sorry. But in comes Kione, and I'm like, there's no way he's staying in. It's time to set up the Aurora Veil. Oh yeah. Yeah, his Tingrowth not gonna want to stay in there. He's gonna switch out, and he goes into Artis, into his Arcanine, and I'm like, okay, got that Aurora Veil up. I don't want to stay in because I can't take out Arcanine. I was tempted though. I was tempted. I think like Blizzard would have done like 25% or whatever, but I mean, he's like a third of his health left, so I was like, there's no way I'm gonna kill. Let's go on into Volcanion, because I can take anything as long as he doesn't have electric moves, but I figured because of the Toxic, he's a more defensive set, and I'm right about that because there comes the Morning Sun. So I was like, he probably doesn't have Wild Charge, so I'm kind of safe to just go ahead and Steam Eruption whatever the heckles I want. He might switch, oh no, just kidding. If he switches into Tapu Fini, I got Sludge Bomb. But yeah, he goes ahead and switches out, doesn't want to take a Steam Eruption, goes into Umbreon as I fire off that Steam Eruption, and even without specs, that's a dead Umbreon, and I was so proud of Hot Stuff. The Volcanion, that's his nickname. I know his nickname's not on the screen, but that's his name, and that's his name. So we got one Pokemon down finally, as he's gonna send in his Thunderous Tea. And here I'm like, okay, I can't stay in. Thunderbolt's gonna kill. What am I gonna switch into? Celebi is my best bet. Celebi is my best bet. I got a Aurora Veil up. It's gonna eat this up. My Celebi is a more defensive set. Look at that damage. That's with the Aurora Veil, but still, look at that damage. So here, I'm just gonna go for the Psychic, and I'm actually holding the Twisted Spoon, so my Psychic is gonna be powered up, even though I have no EVs in special attack. Sludge Wave's gonna hurt. It is gonna hurt, but I'm gonna fire off that Psychic, which does a nice chunk of damage. Aurora Veil does wear off, and here he just goes for the Sludge Wave. I really didn't have anything to switch into, or anything that I wanted to switch into, so I kind of let Celebi go down. Onion was fine this match. Not disappointed at all. But I probably could have used it, put it to better use. I'm gonna switch into Kione, and here I figured I'm in a pretty good position because Kione can take care of almost all of his Pokemon minus the Hitmonlee, so as long as I get rid of that, I'm pretty set with my Ninetales. Because I do have Freeze Dry, which is able to take out or deal damage to this Tapu Fini. Off goes the Blizzard, and that's gonna do nothing really. It's a defensive set. Hail's gonna hurt a lot, or a little, not a lot. It's gonna whittle it down. I'm gonna go for the freeze dry. Can I kill? I thought I could, but I can't. And he reveals the Iapapa berry, which is kind of annoying because he's very healed up. And off goes the Moonblast. I kind of wanted to keep my stash for the Hitmonlee, but my special attack's gonna be lowered, and Moonblast does a ton of damage, so I was like, you know what, I have to switch out. I had to conserve my Ninetales for later, so I'm gonna switch out into Volcanion because Moonblast, I can take that. I can take that like a champ. If he wants to go for Nature Madness, it's completely fine. You're not gonna kill that way. But with here I was a little worried actually, because I was wondering if he was able to outspeed, because if he's invested, I think he would be able to. Because yeah, I'm like sort of invested in speed, not all the way, but just enough to outspeed certain things on his team. He does switch out, so I guess he was worried that like he wouldn't be able to outspeed. I go for the Sludge Bomb. That's gonna hurt this thing. It's gonna do a decent amount of damage. I'm like, okay, can I kill with Flamethrower at that range? Because he is Assault Vest. I know he's Assault Vest. There's no way he's not. Hail, with Hail, I might be able to. So I was like, okay, I gotta risk it because there's nothing else I can really do. So let's go ahead and fire off that Flamethrower and hopefully take out this Tangrowth. And we end up knocking out Spaghetti. I'm like, oh my gosh, thank you. Hot Stuff getting the second kill in a row. You are on a roll right now. Leftovers is really helping me out because now I can switch between my moves instead of being locked into specs. And Volcano honestly has enough power to just tear through things, even without specs. In comes Thor, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have to switch out. I can survive one Thunderbolt with Blue Beetle, so let's get some Marvel DC action going on here. Blue Beetle versus Thor. But yeah, I'm gonna take that Thunderbolt, and I just go for the close combat because I know I could kill, and it does. If you wanted to switch out, it was fine. It would have been fine. He's gonna switch. Actually, I was kind of surprised he didn't switch into his Narwhal at that turn because, oh, actually, never mind, because I probably would have been able to 2-hit KO, especially with Moxie Boost. So me messing up on my ability actually helped me because now I have a Moxie Boost. I didn't trust myself though with close combat. There's no way I would have taken this out, especially if it's a defensive set. So I had to switch back out into Hot Stuff to take whatever this thing sends my way, and it is going to be that Moonblast, which is not very effective, but Leftovers is gonna help me recover. And here I was so worried that it was gonna outspeed, but I knew I had to stay in a Sludge Bomb. I do end up outspeeding, don't get the kill though. I was like, okay, it is whittled down to the point where I am able to take it out, I think, with Blue Beetle. So it's like, okay, gotta send in Blue Beetle, and let's just go ahead and spam Earthquake because Thunder's T is not alive, so I could just Earthquake away. And I was like, oh my gosh, wait, am I gonna win? am I gonna defeat AutoMatthic? It's like, oh my gosh, I get that Moxie Boost. I'm like, okay, if he's got Extreme Speed on his Arcanine, then I'm in trouble because I know Hitmonlee has Mach Punch, and I think if he Extreme Speeds me, then I am down to the point where he would. He doesn't have Extreme Speed though, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I think I got this. Down goes Arcanine. I'm like, okay, we got another Moxie Boost. We don't need that though. We can just take out Hitmonlee. I'm faster because he's not Scarfed or whatever. He's Life Orb. He doesn't have the Unburden or any of those other nasty shenanigans. And as long as he doesn't get a crit, we should be fine. There goes the Mach Punch, and I survived. And I was like freaking out here. I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that I beat this guy. I go for the Earthquake, down goes. I was so happy. Blue Beetle was amazing this match. Both him and Hot Stuff just kind of dominated here. But, yeah, I was so surprised. I still can't believe it. I can't believe it. Anyways, it was a really great game, AutoMatthic. I enjoyed it. I really thought that you, had the upper hand, most of the time there. But, yeah, whew. I've never been like that excited after a match before. But yeah, all information about AutoMatthic will be in the description below. Be sure to check him out. He is a great battler. And yes, that is about it. If you guys enjoyed, be sure to have an awesome day. I was about to say my old intro. That's awkward. Just remember to stay cool. Catch you all later.